Fight commentary breakdowns here. It's been a stressful time for all of us. As you guys know, when I get stressed out, I lose weight, so I'm all skinny again.
Pray for unity.
Yeah, pray for unity, guys. Let's pray for unity. A lot of you guys requested us to look at DK Yoo. DK Yoo has about 500 some, so like about 500,000 subscribers. And we decided, okay, let's look at DK Yoo. So the first piece of footage that often people associate with DK Yoo likes to be portrayed, I don't know if he portrays himself as this or other people call him this, is the modern Bruce Lee. So a lot of people see him do the 1-inch punch. So here's the thing about the 1-inch punch, right? DK Yoo always has the people doing it like this. You notice how Rob is squared up? Rob has no balance. So, look, watch this. I would do a 1-inch punch. I'm not even going to hit him hard. You see that? You see that? I didn't even snap it. All I did was I just pushed. I just pushed. See, even if I just go like this, you see that? See that? That's the whole thing. Clinton was actually asking me about this. That's why I wanted to do the video. Because Clinton's like, dude, DK Yoo's 1-inch punch is so cool, man. He can kick anyone's butt. I'm like, Clinton, you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You should think about this for a second. I'm going to stand square up, okay? Rob, just like move me in any way. Just any way.
I'm going to go higher.
You go higher. Oh.
Because it'll tilt to that.
You see that? You see that? You see that? People will say, well, what if you guys are doing it lazy? I'm going to try to maintain some force. Maybe I'm going to go pigeon-toed stand. All right, let's see if this... Okay.
There you go.
All right.
1-inch punch.
Yeah. You see? You see? Like, that's the thing. So let's say Rob gets into some kind of boxer stance or Muay Thai stance. Let me try to push him now. So let's say I'm going to do the 1-inch punch now, okay?
Ready.
So of course, you know, people would say, no, you gotta like, you know, let's say I'm gonna start. So like I'm thinking about throwing a jab, right? So I'm gonna have to get the hips and the whole body into it. I'm gonna just very gently, let's see, a little bit, right? A little bit.
But you also angled this way.
I cheated. I went that way. Whenever you see someone do like a 1-inch punch or something, I didn't do it completely correctly. You gotta look at the balance. Gotta look at the balance of the compliance partner. That like how are they standing? Because you can make yourself look amazing if the partner just goes along with it. Like, you see how much difficulty I had when Rob just slightly angled off, man.
Yeah, balance is very important. The one thing that is legit about the whipping motion is staying loose while you're throwing a punch and then tensing up at the very last minuscule fraction of a second.
Yeah.
You tense up right before contact, and man, does that make a huge difference.
Yeah. And on top of that, it saves your own strength too.
Oh yeah. If this is sort of like, you know, loose and fluid.
Yeah.
These aren't gonna gain a whole lot of blood. You know, right here.
Yeah.
Because if you keep these tight and rigid the whole time, this will get very heavy.
Yeah.
It'll be very difficult to keep your hands up the entire fight.
Exactly. And that's something I'm trying to practice right now because I tend to not relax my shoulders enough. Like, I'm so focused on one, you know, keep your arms in, and two, torque it, right? I'm so focused on this that because I'm so focused on it, I tense up too much. So like, I have to always remind myself, and a good exercise that the boxing coach Marcella gave me is just, you know, just practice this and just like move with it. Just get the muscle memory.
Fluidity.
So he's just like having me practice kind of that. The second thing that we want to talk about with DK Yoo is the sparring. There's sparring footage of him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're kind of standing in kind of like a like this type of like a kung fu Bruce Lee type of stance kind of thing, right? Yeah, exactly. This is how they're throwing a jab. They're throwing a jab like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of reminiscent of how maybe Bruce Lee showed it in a movie.
Yeah.
Kind of?
Yeah, except that he was, exactly. I think that's exactly what they're going for. Bruce Lee was so fast, though.
Yeah.
Like, you do not want to keep your hands down like
this. Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do a lazy jab, you've got to keep this up at least.
I see.
You know what I mean? In some form of protection. You just don't want this down.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So, you never ever want to be like this, which thing
I think this is a terrible idea. However, there's one boxer, can't remember his name right now, but he was one of the only fighters to ever really stun Floyd Mayweather. And he would always keep his hand low here to be able to bring it up and catch people because they weren't able to keep their eye on the shoulders
Makes
and
sense.
hand down.
Yeah,
at the same
exactly.
time.
Until you mentioned, because I got glasses, right? So unless I'm training, I usually wear my glasses. But even like without glasses, the peripheral vision, you don't have that kind of like your eyes are like this, right? You don't have one eye on top of each other.
You're looking at this right here to determine where the punch is coming from.
Yeah.
And if this pops up into frame,
exactly.
now you're looking at ceiling all of a sudden, you know.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. So it's not that the thought about this is incorrect. It's just some of the other ways they move in addition to that. That's kind of.
I mean, but their shoulders already protecting their. Their shoulders protecting their chin.
Whereas the way DK used to, maybe they're kind of like this sometimes.
Their hands were directly.
Their hands were directly like this.
Yeah.
I see.
That's just inviting a counter.
Maybe they were jab sparring?
I think that was the practice, yeah. They were trying to show the effectiveness of speed and the coming up from the low angle. They're also trying to practice like feints and head
like
movement.
Maybe a little bit of head movement. Yeah. And I noticed the student, they were both kind of shifting from southpaw to orthodox, which is interesting.
But this type of head movement they're doing here is really only effective for somebody that's only throwing jabs. Like if somebody's going to follow that up with a really strong, 1-2. Like you do not want to be here
exactly.
and getting across.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're way off balance.
Every time they move their head, they're already off balance.
Yeah, I mean, this is okay because like I'm leaning back, but I'm not like see how my leg is bent back here, right? This is not what you want.
I see.
Like my leg is way far forward. If I'm gonna lean back, if I'm gonna go back, my weight is over my back hip. And come back and strike.
Makes sense.
His feet, are very flat-footed.
Yeah, that's true.
And he would have a much better jab if he were slightly on the balls.
Yeah, slightly on the balls. Yeah. The movement is a little bit bizarre.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like it's like a Jeet Kune Do type of trained movement.
Mm-hmm. I would only do this if, one, you're way faster than your opponent, and you're protecting your chin with your shoulder. I'm not a big fan of baiting with your face.
And I think he's very loose, right? He's trying to show that he's kind of like loose.
He's baiting with his face.
You think he's baiting with his face?
Like, come try and strike my face so I can come back here.
Because then you can come back and hit me.
Yeah.
So that's what he's doing. Okay.
So when you bring this up, like if you're just out of reach, now as you're bringing it back, that's when I come in.
I see. Especially since the student has the other hand here. Yeah. So maybe if you had it here, then you could either block or follow up with a hit. But if you're here, all you're doing is throwing a jab without a follow up, right? I just realized that. Yeah. I think this type of training is going to lead to bad habits too. Yeah. Because you're literally jabbing without following up. You're never supposed to even just throw one. I mean, you could throw one jab, but the whole point of jab is it opens up other things.
Yeah, keeping your chin out in the open like that is never good.
The third thing we saw was DK Yoo showing like a counter to a kick. So in the video, it's a guy, a littler guy than him. I don't know what kind of kick he's throwing.
He's about to throw like a
So you think it's like a teep kick?
Yeah, he's almost about to like bring it up like that.
So you think it's like a teep kick or maybe it's like one of those it arcs up kind of kicks potentially?
Yeah.
Like maybe a kick like that?
Yeah, like I would say it's something like that.
Like that, okay.
Who's the guy that claimed that he taught that to Anderson Silva?
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
The Steven Seagal front kick.
Yeah, the Steven Seagal front.
The teep kick.
So you think he's doing the Steven Seagal front kick?
Yeah. So
it's like that. Okay. So what DK Yoo then is doing? So let's say he's about to throw it. DK Yoo's using his foot to block it, and then using that momentum to throw a big kick. It's interesting.
Yeah. But so go ahead and play it real quick.
Yeah.
So he blocks with the opposite foot. Yeah. Okay. So if you're throwing with your right leg, he's blocking with his left leg.
So let's say I'm
block it here, right?
Yeah.
And then now the weight of your foot is down here on this leg. Now you go high on that side.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. I would do this. Like the thing is if you're throwing this kick really fast, I have no idea if you're throwing a teep kick or if you're throwing a side kick, like a leg kick, or to my ribs, or even to my head. Because all of these things look similar.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So the best thing to do is to cover everything. Get everything taken care of. Like this is going to cover the teep kick.
Yeah.
This is going to cover checking the side kick. This is going to cover my ribs, and this is going to cover my head. So everything's covered in that instance. And this motion here is already far superior than going from here to here.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
if I go here, I'm already locked
Yeah.
and loaded. If I go here, that's very awkward.
Is he trying to? So when he's blocking with this foot, is he then kind of stepping? He's kind of using as kind of like to step and then kick potentially.
He actually absorbs it.
You think he's
Yeah, he like
So he's like. He's more like,
he goes back and then he goes down.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I guess that makes sense. Maybe the way he's demonstrated, because the opponent's not actually throwing a kick, he doesn't feel the force of it. But in reality, like I'm feeling your force hit me.
You're gonna go that way.
Yeah.
It's not a practical absorption because like this is gonna throw me off balance.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm already on one leg.
Yeah, exactly.
This motion is not, in my opinion, not a very good.
Yeah.
Now, if I can get to you faster, like if your knee's not up,
oh,
you know what I mean? Like if I'm preemptive and I'm doing that,
well,
what's the point?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
you're already kicking my leg, basically.
Yeah, this is almost as it's just this.
Yeah, exactly.
Just oblique kick.
Either you hit my leg before I even or by the time if you're then hitting my leg, it's a force to force thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, this is very difficult to hit you directly on. Like,
Yeah.
This is a very minimal target for me.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult for me to hit this with the ball of my foot.
Yeah.
This, much easier.
That's why it's like it's horizontal.
Yeah. So I can block the kick here.
Yeah.
And then come down and then attack that side or switch kick and attack that side.
Seeing how DK Yoo moves in sparring versus how he's showing people.
He's very athletic.
Yeah, he's very athletic, and I feel like he would be an amazing fight choreographer.
Sure.
But it's like when you examine these moves with some pressure, it seems like a lot of it doesn't work.
It's very fancy, it's very beautiful, and if it works, when it works, it looks really cool. But again, trying to hit that target is... you might get it once, you might get it twice, but good luck getting it the entire fight.
Yeah, exactly.
You really want to, again, when you're fighting somebody at full speed, you cover all your bases. You use as much surface area as you possibly can for the defense or whatever.
Exactly. So there's footage here of DK Yoo kind of, I don't know why he did that though. He literally just went off balance
I
and
love this chin.
maybe it's like an exercise. They're not actually like sparring. I don't know.
I think he's trying to teach them to avoid his pressure.
Oh, makes sense.
This is what I was talking to you before about working on your footwork. So a lot of times what you can do is if you and your friend, I think it's really not that great to take hits in sparring. I think it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
If you need to, like, if you're training for an actual fight, sure, like for 1 or 2 weeks as you're leading up to the fight, but everything accumulates. So I would be careful about taking hits on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But a good practice is to get on the balls of your feet and just practice, just touching, just touch the shoulder, touch the sternum. You know what I mean? Just go high, go low. All that sort of stuff. And if you play tag in this way, and like if you try and throw, let's say, a jab.
Okay, let's say so.
And you just parry. You work on your parries. You work on your jab. You work on your crosses.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like it's a way of getting your hand-eye coordination and your foot movement and your footwork together without actually taking hits to the face.
Yeah, makes sense.
He's trying to train them to be reactionary, like really quickly.
Yeah.
But the thing is like a lot of Taekwondo people, for whatever reason, they keep their hands really low, and I think it has to do with rotating and spinning fast for kicks. I think this is a dangerous place to be. Obviously, there are certain people that can adapt it very well, like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson does a tremendous job of adapting it to MMA. But even so, like his hands are really low down here, and when he's fighting somebody who's got serious power, he brings it up. Yeah.
There's a clip where DK Yoo's kind of like southpaw, and he has a guy punch him, and I guess it's like a Systema thing. He's like, I'll just roll with it. It's like it's like a Systema thing. He's just like, if I get hit, whatever, I'll just kind of absorb it and roll with it, and.
I don't think that this works against a trained fighter.
Okay.
This might work against, like, say, somebody that's completely untrained. But like, if somebody's trained, and they go like this, and you move like that.
So let's say I don't have my hands up, or I have my hands here, and I move like this.
You are completely exposed.
Yeah.
So this is what you really want to do is if somebody strikes at you like that, you're gonna angle off. You're gonna wanna counter or slip the punch or whatever it is, but like you really need to you really need to think about how you're going to attack as you're slipping the punch.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't ever want to be like sort of just, I'm slipping punches, because how long are you going to slip punches for?
Especially like the way he just kind of rolled with it. Well, now what can I do like
completely
this?
exposed.
Exactly. Like I'm not. I guess the only thing I can think of, I've twisted my body this way, so maybe I could come over with like a probably not
elbow strike. No. If you're doing this already, you might as well.
Oh, do a spinning elbow.
Yeah, but that's like, who wants to expose their back?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes sense. It looks. To an untrained eye, it looks very fancy. It looks cool. But we were looking through a lot of clips, and then when I saw that, I was just like...
Yeah. In principle, the idea of slipping a punch is a real thing. If one of them gets past your guard, and you take one to the face, rotate with it, slide with it so that you're not absorbing as much of the punch.
Yeah.
But in general, it's not a first line of defense. You're not going to sit there and be like, "Hey, strike me," and then like I'm gonna roll with these punches and just not be hurt by it, unless you're Mark Hunt, in which case you can just invite somebody to try and tee off on your chin and then just hit them back. With Ray, what's his name, Ray Soto or something like that. I forget his name.
Just a final note, I think McDojo Life was the one that on Instagram said something about how DK Yoo apparently says he'll fight anyone in the UFC or something. In my humble opinion, I don't think DK should do that. DK should not fight someone in the UFC.
I think that I think he's really athletic, and I think that he's really skilled, and he's a good performer, and I think that he'd be very successful, like you said, doing fight choreography.
Yeah. DK Yoo, if you do want to fight someone in the UFC, I think take this athleticism and really hunker down and train for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can come do an exhibition match at King's MMA.
That's true.
And we can see how you do against a couple of 155ers or 170. I'm not sure how much he weighs.
Yeah. I think he looks about maybe 170 something. Yeah.
So you can come train.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Anyways, guys, Jerry and Rob Fight Commentary Breakdowns. By the way, Jaybird Coffee, guys. Jaybird Coffee. So
it'll help you get through these dark times.
It really will, man. It's helped me every day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Keep training.